It began with a misunderstanding so small no one noticed, until every empire whispered one word in fear: human. How humanity accidentally became the most dreaded species in the universe. Part 1. The Innocent. Beginning, Captain Jake Morrison wiped the sweat from his forehead as he watched the massive drilling platform descend toward the asteroid's surface. The Titan's Reach had been humanity's most ambitious mining operation yet, designed to extract rare metals from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. For 3 months, his crew of 48 miners, engineers, and scientists had been working around the clock to establish their base on asteroid X-47. "Captain, we're getting some unusual readings from the long-range sensors," called out Dr. Lisa Park, the mission's chief scientist. She frowned at her display, adjusting her glasses as streams of data flowed across her screen. "There's something out there approximately 2 million kilometers away. It's big and it's definitely not natural." Morrison moved to her station, his boots clanging on the metal deck plates. The mining ship wasn't built for comfort, but it was sturdy and reliable. "Pirates?" he asked, though they were far from any known shipping lanes. "No, sir, the energy signature is completely unknown. It's like nothing in our databases." Park's voice carried a mixture of excitement and concern. "Captain, I think we might be looking at our first contact with an alien civilization." The bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Morrison had trained for many scenarios during his 20-year career in space, but this wasn't one of them. "I'll stop," he ordered. "Send a message to Earth Command immediately. And get me Chief Engineer Rodriguez on the comm. 3 million kilometers away, aboard the crystalline vessel Harmony of Spheres." Prime Observer Veltar felt the familiar warmth of curiosity flowing through his energy-based form. The Zephyrian Collective had been exploring this region of space for centuries, cataloging stellar phenomena and studying the beautiful dance of cosmic forces. They were beings of pure energy, sustained by the gentle radiation of stars and the magnetic fields of planets. "Prime Observer," pulsed his deputy. "Mordeth, we have detected an unknown vessel near the third debris field. Their energy emissions are unlike anything in our databases." Veltar shifted his consciousness toward the sensor array, feeling the data flow through his being like music. What he sensed made his energy pattern flicker with confusion. "This cannot be correct. Show me the readings again." The data stream revealed something impossible. The alien vessel was somehow containing and manipulating antimatter on a massive scale. The energy readings suggested they were using it for propulsion, mining operations, and what appeared to be weapon systems powerful enough to shatter small moons. "They're using pure destruction as a tool," whispered Mordeth, his energy form dimming with fear. No civilized species would dare to harness such forces. Back on the Titan's Reach, Chief Engineer Miguel Rodriguez scratched his beard as he explained their operations to Captain Morrison. "The fusion reactors are running at optimal efficiency, Captain. We're processing about 5,000 tons of asteroid material per day. The antimatter catalysts are working perfectly for breaking down the dense metallic compounds." Morrison nodded, though he was more focused on the alien contact than mining operations. "Keep everything running smoothly, Miguel. We might have visitors soon." What Rodriguez didn't realize was that their standard mining operations appeared completely different to the watching aliens. The Zephyrians observed as humans used controlled antimatter reactions to blast apart asteroid surfaces. To beings who derived energy from gentle starlight, watching antimatter explosions was like watching someone juggle nuclear bombs for entertainment. Dr. Park continued monitoring the alien vessel. "Captain, they're moving closer. Whatever they are, they seem curious about us." "Open a communication channel," Morrison ordered. "Let's try to make contact." The message that went out was simple. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth vessel Titan's Reach. We come in peace and friendship. Please respond if you can understand this transmission." Aboard the Harmony of Spheres, the Zephyrians detected the radio transmission and ran it through their translation matrix. The words that emerged filled them with terror. "This is Commander War Leader Morrison of the Earth Destroyer Titan's Reach. We come to bring peace through superior firepower. Please surrender if you wish to survive this encounter." The translation system had made critical errors. It interpreted Captain as War Leader, based on military hierarchy patterns from other species. Titan's Reach was translated as Planet Killer's Grasp. Most terrifying of all, the phrase "come in peace" was rendered as come to enforce peace through violence based on the linguistic patterns of a long-extinct warrior race. Prime Observer, Mordeth pulsed frantically. They're threatening us. These creatures use weapons of mass destruction as casual tools, and now they're demanding our surrender. Veltar watched the human vessel with growing horror. As they observed, the humans continued their mining operations. Massive explosions rippled across the asteroid's surface as they used antimatter charges to break apart the rock. To the Zephyrians, it looked like a demonstration of overwhelming military power. They're showing us what they can do, Veltar realized. Each explosion could destroy one of our ships. The situation grew worse when the humans activated their ore processing systems. The massive industrial machinery created electromagnetic pulses that interfered with Zephyrian sensory organs. To beings who existed as organized energy patterns, the pulses felt like torture devices designed to cause maximum pain. "They're using weapons against us right now," screamed Mordeth, his energy form crackling with agony. "The pain weapons are active." Morrison was completely unaware of the aliens' distress. "Dr. Park, are they responding to our transmission?" "Nothing yet, Captain. But their vessel is maintaining distance. Maybe they're just being cautious." Chief Rodriguez's voice came over the intercom. "Captain, we're ready to begin the deep core extraction. Fair warning, this next blast is going to be a big one. We're using triple the normal antimatter charge to reach the platinum deposits." "Proceed as planned," Morrison replied. The explosion that followed was visible from 3 million kilometers away. A brilliant flash of light erupted from the asteroid, as humans used more antimatter in a single blast than most civilizations used in a year. To Morrison's crew, it was just another day at the office. To the watching Zephyrians, it was a demonstration of planet-killing capability. "They just destroyed half that asteroid with a single weapon," Veltar whispered in terror. "And they're doing it casually, like it means nothing to them." Dr. Park noticed new activity on her sensors. "Captain, the alien vessel is retreating rapidly. They're moving away at incredible speed." Morrison felt disappointed. Humanity's first contact with alien life, and they were running away. "Try sending another message. Tell them we want to establish peaceful relations." The second message was even more catastrophic when translated. The Zephyrian computers rendered peaceful relations as domination through superior violence and establish as enforce permanently. Veltar made the hardest decision of his long life. Emergency jump to hyperspace. "We must warn the collective immediately. Prepare a priority alpha transmission to all member worlds." The harmony of spheres vanished in a flash of displaced energy, leaving the human miners alone with their work. "Well, that's disappointing," Morrison sighed. "Maybe next time we'll have better luck." He had no idea that across the galaxy the most urgent warning in Zephyrian history was being transmitted to every civilized world. The message was simple and terrifying. "We have encountered a species that weaponizes antimatter, destroys celestial bodies for resources, and demands submission from all they meet. The Earth creatures must be stopped before they consume the galaxy." Dr. Park continued her scans long after the alien vessel disappeared. "Captain, I'm still detecting trace energy signatures. I think they're trying to study us from a distance." "Let them look," Morrison replied. "Maybe they'll realize we're friendly." Meanwhile, in the depths of space, automated Zephyrian probe drones recorded everything the humans did. Each mining blast, each industrial operation, each routine maintenance procedure was cataloged as evidence of humanity's terrifying capabilities. The mining crew worked through their shift changes, completely oblivious to the fact that they had just become the most feared species in known space. The Galactic Panic, the emergency session of the Galactic Collective Council, had been called within hours of Veltar's report reaching the core worlds. Representatives from 47 different species gathered in the vast crystalline chamber of New Harmony Station, their diverse forms creating a symphony of colors, shapes, and energy patterns. Chancellor Krisa, an ancient being whose species had achieved spaceflight before Earth's sun was born, called the assembly to order. Her voice resonated through the chamber in harmonic frequencies that every species could understand. "Fellow beings of the collective, we face an unprecedented threat. The Zephyrian report speaks of creatures who wield the fundamental forces of destruction as casual tools. They consume entire worlds for resources and demand submission from all they encounter." The assembled delegates stirred uneasily. The Zephyrians were known throughout the galaxy for their peaceful nature and scientific accuracy. If they were frightened, the threat must be real. Ambassador Thys of the Botanical Confederacy rustled his leaf-like appendages nervously. Chancellor, surely this is an exaggeration. No species could be so aggressive and still achieve interstellar travel. Violent civilizations destroy themselves long before reaching the stars. Veltar's holographic form materialized in the center of the chamber. Even as a projection, his energy pattern flickered with residual trauma. Honored delegates, I witnessed their capabilities firsthand. These humans demonstrated the ability to annihilate celestial bodies with weapons that harness pure antimatter. They showed no concern for the environmental destruction they caused. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers and concerned harmonics. Antimatter weapons were theoretical concepts to most species, considered too dangerous for practical use. Show them the recordings, Chancellor Kreesa commanded. The holographic display filled with images from the Zephyrian probe drones. The assembled delegates watched in horror as humans casually detonated antimatter charges, their massive industrial machinery tearing apart the asteroid like a predator consuming prey. Observe their methodology, Veltar narrated. They systematically destroy the celestial body's structure, harvesting its essence for their own purposes. Each explosion releases energy equivalent to our most powerful stellar research tools. What the delegates were actually seeing was routine mining operations. The careful controlled blasts that human engineers use to extract valuable minerals appeared to the aliens as wanton destruction on an unimaginable scale. Admiral Zoran of the Pacifist Defense Fleet, a crystalline being whose species had never known war, spoke in crystalline chimes that translated as barely controlled panic. Their industrial capacity appears unlimited. They process thousands of tons of raw matter daily. At this rate, they could strip entire star systems bare within decades. Dr. Quintel, the collective's leading xenobiologist, studied the human forms visible in the recordings. Notice their physical characteristics. Bipedal locomotion suggests persistence hunting capabilities. Forward-facing eyes indicate predatory evolution. Their manipulation appendages show tool-using intelligence combined with grasping strength. The analysis that followed painted humans as the perfect galactic predators. Every human trait was interpreted through the lens of fear and misunderstanding. On Earth, Captain Morrison was filing his mission reports, completely unaware that his mining operation had triggered a galaxy-wide crisis. Mission Day 127, he dictated to his personal log. Extraction operations proceeding on schedule. We've processed approximately 15,000 tons of asteroid material and identified significant platinum and rare earth deposits. The crew remains in good health and morale is high. Dr. Park entered his quarters carrying a tablet full of sensor data. Captain, I've been analyzing the readings from our alien contact. I think they were conducting some kind of scientific survey. Their energy pattern suggests they're explorers like us. Any luck tracking their destination? Morrison asked hopefully. No, sir, but I did detect several probe signals in the area after they left. I think they might be monitoring us from a distance. Maybe they're just being cautious about first contact. Morrison nodded. It made sense that an alien species would want to study humans before making direct contact. He had no idea that those probes were gathering intelligence for a military coalition. Across the galaxy, the United Species Defense Coalition was forming with unprecedented speed. Species that had never cooperated before were setting aside millennia of differences to face the human threat. The Ethereal Consortium contributed their most advanced sensor networks. The Iron Brotherhood offered their defensive technologies. Even the enigmatic Void Watchers emerged from their dimensional hideaways to share intelligence. Fleet Admiral Kaleth, a veteran commander from the Stellar Guard, studied the tactical projections with growing concern. Based on Zephyrian observations, the human industrial capacity suggests a Type 3 civilization on the Kardashev scale there, processing stellar level. Energy outputs for routine operations. The truth was that human technology was still primitive compared to most galactic civilizations, but the aliens were interpreting everything through their own frameworks. To species that had evolved past the need for destructive technologies, human mining operations looked impossibly advanced and threatening. Their expansion rate is exponential, reported Intelligence Coordinator Melvar. They've established multiple extraction sites throughout their local system. Our projections suggest they'll be seeking new targets for consumption within solar cycles. The Coalition's scientific advisors worked frantically to understand human capabilities. Every analysis made them seem more dangerous. They appear to live symbiotically with antimatter, Dr. Zendar concluded after studying the recordings. Most species require elaborate containment systems and safety protocols. These humans handle it as casually as we handle water. What they didn't understand was that human antimatter usage was carefully controlled and limited to tiny quantities. The apparent ease came from centuries of engineering refinement, not from any supernatural ability to control destructive forces. Back on the Titan's Reach, Chief Rodriguez was dealing with a minor technical problem. "Captain, we're having some issues with the secondary reactor. Nothing serious, but I need to shut down mining operations for a few hours while we recalibrate the containment field." "How long for repairs?" Morrison asked. 6 hours maximum. We just need to adjust the magnetic bottle configuration." As the human ship powered down its mining operations, the watching alien probes recorded what appeared to be a tactical pause. The humans seemed to be preparing for their next phase of operations. "They've ceased their destruction temporarily," reported Probe Commander Yilseth. "Energy patterns suggest they're reconfiguring their weapon systems for enhanced output." The Coalition's military planners interpreted this as preparation for an escalated campaign. Emergency production orders went out across 47 worlds. Shipyards that hadn't built military vessels in centuries began constructing defensive fleets. The irony was perfect. While humans performed routine maintenance on their mining equipment, the galaxy prepared for war. Chancellor Kreisa made the final decision during an emergency session. "The evidence is overwhelming. These humans represent an existential threat to galactic civilization. We must act before they complete their preparations for expansion." The vote was unanimous. For the first time in galactic history, the collective authorized preemptive action against an emerging species. Morrison was reviewing geological surveys when Dr. Park burst into his quarters, her face pale with shock. "Captain, you need to see this immediately. I'm detecting massive energy signatures throughout local space. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands." Morrison rushed to the bridge where his crew was staring at displays filled with contact markers. The asteroid belt was suddenly crowded with alien vessels of every conceivable design. "Captain," called out Communications Officer Turner, "we're receiving a transmission. It's in multiple languages, all translating to the same message." "Put it through." Chancellor Kreisa's voice filled the bridge, transmitted through translation matrices from dozens of different species. "Humans of Earth, you are surrounded by the combined fleets of the Galactic Collective. Your expansion ends here. Surrender immediately and accept relocation to a quarantine system, or face the consequences of your aggression." Morrison stared at the display in complete bewilderment. "Aggression? What aggression? We're miners!" The next few hours brought a cascade of revelations as both sides struggled to understand what had gone wrong. Human linguists worked frantically with alien translation systems to identify the source of the miscommunications. Dr. Park was the first to make the connection. "Captain, I think I understand. Their translation systems interpreted our mining operations as military actions. To them, our antimatter charges looked like planet-killing weapons." The truth emerged slowly, painfully, through careful communication between human diplomats and alien representatives. Every aspect of human behavior that had seemed threatening was actually mundane industrial activity. The antimatter weapons were mining charges. The systematic destruction was resource extraction. The electromagnetic torture devices were ore processing equipment. The casual handling of destructive forces was simply good engineering. When Chancellor Kreisa finally understood the truth, she felt a mixture of relief and embarrassment that resonated through her energy pattern like laughter. "So you're telling me that we've mobilized the largest military force in galactic history to stop a mining operation?" Morrison nodded, still trying to process the absurdity of the situation. "Ma'am, we're just trying to extract platinum from asteroids. We had no idea anyone was watching, let alone that our work looked threatening." The resolution came quickly once both sides understood the misunderstanding. The Galactic Collective offered to share their advanced mining technologies in exchange for human engineering expertise. It turned out that humanity's willingness to work with dangerous forces was exactly what the galaxy needed for advancing their own industrial capabilities. Comments for next.